Located on Fleet Street in downtown Portsmouth, a local thrift store, Drift, has been working hard since 2016 to create pieces of clothing for consumers using more sustainable materials.
The store opened November 12th, 2016. That was like our opening party. And literally, like the opening day, like a funny story that people don't know, we were planning like the party, and like the night before, there was nothing in the store. We had to like pull it all together overnight. And I sent my friends out to get paper towels and like cleaning supplies like for the party. And my card got declined because it was like I literally hit $0 on like opening day. So it was like cross your fingers and hope this works.
So could you explain your process from building your website and starting in 2015 to where you are now?
Totally. So when I first started, it was kind of an experiment. I didn't really know how far I would go with it. And I was just looking to make money on the side to save up for grad school. So I like had my grandma teach me how to sew, and I started hand making bikinis. And that's kind of how the company originally had started.
Fast fashion companies have been growing since 1960, creating cheaper clothing in higher quantities for consumers. Fast fashion stores such as H&M and Old Navy have developed micro-seasons, which bring in new trends and are meant to keep drawing buyers in. Not only is the fast fashion industry making $3 trillion a year, but also is responsible for 4% of the world's waste annually.
So originally I knew I wanted to work in sustainability. So as I learned more and more about fashion, I learned about how unsustainable the industry currently is. And I never thought like fashion was something I wanted to do. But as I learned more, I kind of dove deeper into the industry and like the problems with how it currently exists, and that's what inspired like the store and the clothing. So right now there's a huge issue with overproduction. So clothing is being made like at double the rate it used to be made at like just 15, 20 years ago. And people are buying more and more, and which like results in people wearing things for not like for 6 or 7 wears before throwing them out, and just like having closets that are like crazy full of cheap clothing. So here our whole like process and goal is to take some like the disregarded clothing that people will like donate to a thrift store, and make them into pieces that people will value for longer and keep them in the fashion system like that.
And we were walking around and we saw this cute little store, and like if you walk by it, there's like a cute little sign, and there was like a rack of clothes outside. So we decided just to go in and just like see what was in there. And we ended up, like we didn't know it was in there, and it ended up being so cool. Like there was like a whole neon sign that said Drift, and all the clothes were so cool.
So here we do primarily upcycle clothing, which is like a big up and coming thing. When we started, when I first opened the store, I was like telling my friends like, yeah, so we're gonna take old clothes and like make them new again. And people are like, so you're gonna sell old clothes? Like that, no one's gonna buy old clothes. But it's basically fulfilling this need to close the loop on the fashion cycles. Livy, my friend who runs the Drift with me, I started it originally, and she joined pretty soon after the store opened. But we have like a vision in our head when we go to a thrift store. We get like 2 giant carts, and everyone at all the thrift stores knows who we are because we have like a mountain of clothes when we leave. But yeah, it's like a cohesive style that I think is kind of unique to us.
I like this new one they have. This is like No Waves on Mars, and they print it on shirts and stuff, and it has like a little guy and it's all wavy. I also really like the beanie that they have. I saw this last year and really wanted it, and then by the time that I went back to get it, it was like out of season, so I ended up having to go back this year to get it.
As time goes by, more and more people are being introduced to the threats of fast fashion. Not only are students at Oyster River High School thrifting for their own clothes, but can also be seen sporting Drift attire.
Getting to like introduce people to sustainable fashion and like why it's important, and like hearing feedback from boys and girls that other like before talking to us didn't even really think about the problems with like buying from a fast fashion company, and then they'll come back and be like, I haven't bought a new piece of clothing in like 2 years, like I've been thrifting and like nothing new. It's like a cool experience to see. Now we're at a point where like it feels really great. Like I'm not afraid every month of like how much money are we gonna make, are we gonna be able to keep going, and I can afford to have my best friend like as a part of it with me, and we work really hard to keep it going. It's been exciting, and we have a long way to go, but we're working hard.